Hello, everybody. All right, happy hump day to everybody. It is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. So, so we're gonna, of course, give people a chance to come in here. Oh wait, actually, I just remembered I need to do something as well. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of something real quick. Be right back. Music on manga. All right, I'm back. So I'm hoping everybody's having a good week thus far. Um, we do have quite a bit of a night tonight. And I thank you already for the like, and the share. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, um, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, all right. So um, with that, let's see. So we're now coming on 3 minutes in. So gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about what's on tap for tonight. So tonight I'm gonna go over 4 articles. I'm gonna fully get caught up, pretty much here. We're about a day behind, but that's okay. By the time we're done here, we'll pretty much be fully caught up. So we're gonna go over 4 articles tonight, including Sentai Filmworks, um, apparently censoring some stuff, basically replacing the word lolicon with problematic age gap. So we got apparently Sentai now getting into this censorship game. In comic books, of course, the Gotham War battle line sees Catwoman lecturing Batman. That also we'll be talking about in the realm of animation. The Paw Patrol's spinoff, Robbie and Crew, it has decided to introduce the franchise's first non-binary character into a cartoon. We'll be looking at that, and Crunchyroll's releases for the upcoming fall season have been announced here. We'll look at as well. Plus, of course, we'll have the wrestling wrap up and this day needs history before the night is out. And now that we're coming up soon here on, again, I hope everybody's having a good week thus far. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With all that being said, now that we're past the 5 minute mark, let's go ahead and get started then. Alrighty then. So here we go. Here's the first article we're going to be looking at.
The Wheel of Time.
All right. So Sentai Filmworks replaces the term lolicon with quote problematic age gap unquote in their localization of small quotes the Dark Gathering anime. Article by Nerdigans published yesterday in the Anime Censorship and Manga. So let's get into this. In continuing their cursed attempts to conflate the Japanese term with the concept of being an outright P word, Sentai Filmworks has replaced the word lolicon with the social media buzzword with the social media buzzword reeking quote unquote problematic age gap. That's not a word. That's a phrase. In their English language localization of Dark Gathering. Now, yes, in many anime, the protagonists are usually high schoolers, um, anywhere in the 15 to 17 range, So, I mean, written and illustrated by Kenichi Kondo, Dark Gathering follows the tale of Kitaro Gintoga, a college freshman whose strong supernatural constitution attracts spirits to him like moths to a flame. Kind of like Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, right? As a child, Keitaro experienced a traumatic event which left both him and his childhood friend Eiko Hozoki cursed by an unknown spirit. Seeking to protect the people he cares about from adverse effects of his new situation, Keitaro responded to the curse by becoming a shut-in. Because if he doesn't go out and engage with people, he'll protect them from whatever his curse is. However, thanks to Eiko's help and his grandmother's own curse suppression efforts, recent months have seen Kitaro slowly coming back out of his shell, slowly re-socializing with a world he previously accepted never seeing again. As part of this rehabilitation, Keitaro is tasked by Eiko with tutoring her cousin, Yayoi Hozuki, a 9-year-old spiritual prodigy whose mother was abducted by ghosts when she was just a child. United by a twist of fate, and they added either, the three proceed to team up and not only help Yayoi develop her abilities, but also visit various haunted spots in in hopes of finding the ghost who kidnapped her mom. All right, thus far doesn't sound all that bad. Sounds like a very interesting anime to me. As discovered by fans upon its September 11th simulcast on High Dive, the edit in question was made to the Dark Gathering anime's 10th episode across Japan. Adapted from the end of the original manga's 11th chapter, Blasphemy, the relevant scene finds Kitaro and Yayoi. Now, mind you, I'm guessing Kitaro is he's a college freshman, which would mean he'd be like 18. Probably be like 18, maybe 19. And Yayoi is 9. So let's see where this all goes here. Kitaro and Yayoi confront an ancient Japanese god who has marked Ai to be his bride when she turns 20 years old. Who's Ai? All right, a little piece of misinfo there. Seeking to strike fear in their hearts, the god proceeds to taunt the pair by murdering Yayoi's quote kids, dangerous ghosts whom she has trapped in stuffed animals, with the goal of eventually using their powers to find her mother, and claiming that there is nothing the young exorcist can do to stop him. Okay. I wonder if when they said I there, they meant Yayoi. There's Eiko, there's Yayoi, and then, of course, the main character here is, if I can find it, oh, Kitaro. Taro. All right. Let's see. Nobody's commenting yet. Okay, that's fine. Um, as I said, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And of course, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people involved and get engaged, that'd be appreciated as well. So, however, when a picture of the family she's fighting for becomes drenched by the blood of this performance, Yayoi snaps forward and declares that not only can she face the god on her own, but also that she can actually beat him. Quote, a god should be at least 500 years old. In spite of that, you're taking a 20-year-old girl as your bride, she taunts in turn. All right. Quote, I don't feel like I can lose to a lowly con god. All right. In this particular case, the way they're meaning it is obviously they're talking more about just, I think, in general, May December romances. Okay, when there is more of a significant age gap between the two parties. This I don't think comes anywhere close to the P word. Okay, even in our own sensibilities, 20 years old, legally, morally is considered an adult. Okay. Yeah. In this case, lolicon is, in this case, I think, meaning more of a general term for, just a significant age gap here. That's my take on that. However, thanks to notorious English language localizer Katrina Leonidakis, own political ideology, Sentai Filmworks' presentation of this moment places Yayoi's original declaration with, quote, I'm not going to let some god and his problematic age gap beat me. Now, Katrina has been highly criticized before for her translations and putting her own impetus into the translations, putting her own her own opinion, her own issues into the translations. And I know Vera Dark has talked about her on at least a couple of occasions. So, anyways, as we move forward with the article here, conversely, the series' other licensor, Singapore-based anime distributor, Muse Asia, translated the scene more accurately to creator Kenichi Kondo's original dialogue. Another typo there. I think they've added an M there that shouldn't be there. Original dialogue with Yayoi asserting, quote, I don't think I would ever lose to some lowly con god. As of writing, neither Sentai Filmworks or High Dive have offered a public comment on Dark Gathering's mistranslation. Okay, so mind you, okay, and I know many people, I know of a few commentators who talked about this. I know Hero Hayes talked a little bit about this. So, for those of you who may not understand the term lolicon, a lolicon character or Lolita character is basically somebody who has kind of a youthful, if not like childlike appearance. Okay, they outwardly they look like they could pass as a child, even though they are oftentimes not necessarily a child or a real young child. You know, they could range anywhere from, of course, high school age to young adult age. You know, if you want to draw somewhat of a Western comparison to what a lolicon might be, or a lowly or a lowly might be. Okay, lolicon is somebody who's attracted to women who have like younger or more childlike appearances. Okay, now just because they're a Lolita doesn't make them a child, right? Um, but an example from Western animation, if any of you remember watching Batman the Animated Series, there was a character they introduced in the show named Mary Doll, who took on the villain named Baby Doll. You know, she's one of those who's similar to, like, in the real world here, Emmanuel Lewis and the late Gary Coleman had suffered from a particular disease where, you know, they just didn't grow. They didn't grow up. Um, so, but you know, Mary Doll, who was Baby Doll in the Batman the Animated Series and the follow up, you know, the new Batman Adventures, um, what could be considered a Lolita type character, you know, and then Lolicons are those who are attracted to those kinds. Now, just because they're a lowly character doesn't mean that they are underage. First off, doesn't necessarily mean that they're underage or like they are a child. Okay, it just means that they have the appearance of a child, the outward appearance. They talk and act like a child, even though sometimes, you know, a lot of times they may actually be older. Um, and you see this also in some isekai and some, like, you know, sword and sorcery type RPGs where you have like characters like fairies and gnomes, or, well, not necessarily gnomes, but like fairies in particular who have younger appearances but are significantly older. Yeah, 500-year-old fairies who some would think look like they were a young child, because that's just um how their how their particular species, you know, ages. Okay, so this has been a thing in the West for a while, though, where a lot, you know, where they're trying to, as the article stated here at the very beginning, they're trying to conflate the term lolicon to mean a child lover, if you want to, you know, want to find a euphemism for it. So anyways, that's that. That article actually kind of went quick, and actually now I think I can make some lighting adjustments here. So I'm going to go off camera here for a quick moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn on some music for a moment. I'll be right back. Just going to make some lighting adjustments here. It's that tricky time of the year where we're getting into fall and the sun's set time is decreasing. So So, and apparently there was a comment there. Mr. Yanafui, hello, Mr. Yanafui. Thanks for dropping in. If you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Give me a nice little emoji there. All right. Well, hopefully I'll see you around more often here, Mr. Yanafui. As we prepare to get into the next article here in a moment. As always, feel free to comment and or ask questions if anything grabs your attention. And if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That would be appreciated. So now getting into some comic book news here. As we venture forth here. All right, so the Gotham War battle line sees Catwoman lecture Batman about fighting crime. It's ultra cringe, which is kind of interesting because Catwoman, of course, as everybody knows, traditionally was initially one of Batman's arch enemies. So this is going to be a fun read. Article by J.D. Augustine, published yesterday in the comic book section. All right, so battle lines are being drawn in the latest Batman Catwoman storyline between the two sides. Let's see. Not for any reason you can think of. In the new title, Batman Catwoman, the Gotham War battle lines, the Dark Knight is rendered obsolete after 8 weeks in a coma because his city is 75% safer thanks to his former paramour. How she does it will surprise you. Selina got to work building a network of thieves she and her syndicate of female friends pluck from the dive bars around Gotham. These dang establishments are where the Joker, the Riddler, and other master criminals canvass for hired thugs, many of whom are career hirelings getting by on the jobs rogues recruit them for. Selina did something about that and deprived the villains of their feeder system. No hired goons, no jobs, no criminal capers. Hence, Gotham is safer. It's also quieter, a little too much for Batman, when he wakes up and goes back on patrol. He doesn't like what is going on, and Selina knows it. But there's more to her crusade he will like even less. Oh boy. Cleaning up Gotham still comes at a price, and the ones paying are those the Cat and company believe can afford it. Far from random and uncoordinated, her strategy has rules, and the first among them is Selina's crew only robs from the rich. Moreover, they steal and give to the poor and downtrodden of the city. So I guess Selina's decided to play up the whole idea of being Robin Hood there, I guess. As expected, this doesn't sit well with Bruce, who fires back that his, quote, parents were, in smaller quote, rich. He feels she is scapegoating and not really fixing anything. Meanwhile, she and her agents wonder why Bruce didn't do more to help the city with his wealth years ago. Punching criminals hasn't solved anything either, or so Catwoman and members of the Bat family come to realize. Oh boy, this sounds like a communist manifesto to me. But one of Catwoman's trained thieves gets killed on the job when he doesn't recon the premises. From there, all bets are off and the war is on. Written by Chip Zdarsky, which probably explains a lot, and Trini Howard, or Teeny Howard. Drawn by Mike Hawthorne and Adriano Di Benedetto. Batman Catwoman, The Gotham War Battle Lines is on sale now. All right. Oh, there we go with that one. Let's see. All right. So feel free to comment and or ask questions if anything grabs your attention, guys. And if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated as well. I do appreciate those already done so. So, anyways, and ready to move on to the next article here. We're going to get to here's the next one from the realm of television. Alrighty then. So, Paw Patrol spinoff, Rubble and Crew introduces franchise's first non-binary character. Spencer Baculi was the writer, published yesterday, of course, in another story of them trying to push the alphabet agenda. Following in the footsteps of its fellow Paramount-produced animated series Transformers Earthspark, the Paw Patrol spin-off series Rubble and Crew recently saw the introduction of new non-binary character to its expansive cast of problem solvers. And these are animals are straight up just, they are binary, period. Okay, I'm sorry. Now you're trying to push the idea that animals can be non-binary? Okay, wonder where these people's heads are really at. Pushing that kind of agenda there. I mean, that just totally flies in the face of biological. Well, everything they push flies in the face of biological fact. So, debuting in February of this year, Rubble and Crew follows the titular English bulldog as he moves from his home in Adventure Bay to Builder Cove, and in typical Paw Patrol fashion, opens up a new construction company with the aim of helping the town and its citizens in completing its various public works. And in the 19th episode of the spin-off's first season, the crew builds an observatory. The protagonist's pup's circle of friends expanded to include the aforementioned non-binary character River, a young skateboard and aspiring photographer obsessed with, in smaller quotes, getting the right pick. The pups cross paths with River just as they are deciding which construction projects to tackle that day. Explaining how they and their family are recent transplants from Builder Cove, River laments to the team that though the town has a wide variety of impressive buildings, all built by the pups, of course, but one thing it doesn't have is an observatory. And without it, River tells their new friends they will be unable to snap a satisfactory picture of a passing quote-unquote shooting star, though referred to as such. The object actually appears to be a comet. Seeking to make their new friend feel at home, the pups put their noses to the grind and use their various skills to make River's dream a reality. Following a temporary transportation problem caused by a sudden drop in temperature, the pups ultimately complete their goal, much to River's excitement. Their work complete and River's photo of the shooting star successfully taken, the group closes out the episode by taking a selfie with their new friend. As to River's non-binary identity, this fact is never explicitly addressed or mentioned in the episode itself, rather than the walking, in small quotes, social awareness billboard commonly depicted in contemporary media. River is introduced and treated like a normal human being. The episode's focus remaining solely on the pup's efforts to see the stars. Instead, this fact was revealed in post by the episode's writer, LGBTQ plus activist Lindsay Amer. So they didn't really do anything like the walking billboard, but rather than let people just enjoy the episode, enjoy the crust of the episode, they just had to say this, right? Oh boy. Perhaps most notable as the founder of Queer Kid Stuff, a YouTube channel that aims to bring, quote, LGBTQ plus and social justice media to kids and families, unquote, Amer took to their personal Instagram account roughly 2 weeks after the series premiere to announce, quote, they brought me on to consult on the first non-binary character, Meet River, for the Paw Patrol universe and write their episode, talk about a bucket list item. I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. This kind of stuff does not belong in kids' cartoons. I'm sorry. No, you should not be pushing this to kids. Right? It's one thing if, as an adult, after growing up and after, it's one thing if, as an adult, they decide they want to change their gender or what have you. But to push this on kids, no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That is wrong. Okay? It's a crime against nature to be doing this. So, I wanted to write a non-binary character that was aspirational and incredibly cool, someone for the pups and kids at home to look up to, unquote, continued the activist. Of course they did. Of course they did. Continued the activist, who themselves identifies as non-binary. Quote, they found an awesome non-binary actor to voice River, and I'm so happy about how it turned out. To this end, Amer then revealed that though they avoided any overt discussion of River's identity, they did make subtle references to it by applying the transgender pride flags, pink, white, and light blue color scheme to the character's shoes. Quote, Peep Rivers, non-binary transgender, kicks, Amer ultimately invited. Invited? Yeah. The recently completed first season of Rubble and Crew is now available to stream on multiple services, including Nick Jr., Prime Video, Apple TV. Meanwhile, production on a second season is currently underway. Again, this is not something that should be being pushed on kids, period. Again, it's one thing for adults, as an adult, to make that decision. They have the right and the freedom to do so. But kids are still under the auspices of their parents. So, anyways, I need to make one more lighting adjustment here. So I'm going to go off camera here one more time to do that. Put some music on. All right, so getting ready to move on to the last article here. And it does seem like we've gone through them quite quickly, actually. Where are we at on time here? Well, 37 minutes, so not too bad. It's not too bad, so all right, so let's get into this last article here for the night. Another anime-related one here. My Hero Academia, Season 6, Part 1, headlines Crunchyroll's holiday anime home releases. Article by Nerdigans Inc., published. So I think this is what in this case is what's being sold now, not just released to view. Article by Nerdigans Inc. published today. So Crunchyroll has unveiled a sack full of anime home releases just in time for the holiday season. Leading the charge of Crunchyroll's holiday anime home releases is the first part of My Hero Academia Season 6. So home releases probably means like the hard copies, basically, the DVD sets. So this is that set of stuff that's going on physical sale, right? Headlining Crunchyroll's anime releases is My Hero Academia Season 6 Part 1 Blu-ray and DVD set for $69.98 on December 19th. Adapted from Kohei Horikoshi's best-selling manga, the first 12 episodes of My Hero Academia's 6th season adapts manga's paranormal liberation arc, where the heroes begin their all-out assault against the paranormal liberation front. My Hero Academia Season 6 Part 1 special features include Season 4 OVA Make It Do or Die Survival Training, Parts 1 and 2, which consists of Shota Aizawa Disaster Rescue Training Session to prepare Class 1A for the upcoming Provisional Hero License Exam. Promo videos, Texas opening and ending songs. And there's the release there. Alongside the first part of My Hero Academia's 6th season, Crunchyroll also announced they are releasing Utawareru Mono, Mask of Truth, the complete season, on December 5th for $69.98. Uta Wararumono, Mask of Truth, the complete season. Official description reads masquerading as Oshtor, Haku leads the group and vows to protect the princess while she recovers. In her absence, one of the 8 pillar generals scrambles for the throne, throwing the nation into war. Can Haku gather enough allies despite his deception? Oh. The Utawarumona, while the series name is very hard to pronounce, unless you really put in the effort to really sound it out, it's actually a pretty good series. I don't know if I've seen Massive Truth yet, but I've seen like the False Phase. I've seen the first season and all that. It's a pretty good series. On December 12th, Crunchyroll will also release A Couple of Cuckoos, Season 1, Part 2. I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, the complete season, and One Piece Collection 33. A Couple of Cuckoos, Season 1, Part 2, consists of episodes 13 through 24. Crunchyroll's official description for the second half of the harem romantic comedy reads, quote, Sachi struggles with jealousy as Erika and Hiro fall for Nagi, who is just totally confused. While his feelings start to get in the way of his grades, his personal life's never been more fun. Okay. Can he figure out a way to have it all? Unquote. Upon release, the Blu-ray will retail for $69.98. Retailing for $69.98. I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, the complete season. Official description reads, quote, Eileen Lauren Deautric wakes up inside her favorite Otome game, but soon realizes she's the villainess. To avoid her programmed destiny, she decides to try and marry the game's ultimate bad guy. Will her dating skills be enough to save her second life? So as I understand it, a little more detail there. So within that game, as it were, the villainess ultimately dies. Crunchyroll's last December 12th release is the One Piece Collection 33 Blu-ray DVD combo for $39.98. The official description for the next entry of the Big Mom saga, consisting of One Piece episodes 795 to 818, reads, quote, Chopper and Carrot get trapped in Broly's maze of mirrors, while Luffy's battle against Cracker forces him to take on a new gear for form. After a close call, Luffy finally catches up to Sanji, who turns their reunion into a shocking duel. Quote, elsewhere on the island, Brooke squares up for a nearly impossible battle against Big Mom, and Sanji accidentally uncovers a not-so-sweet secret about pudding. Unquote. It continues, quote, Chopper and Carrot get trapped in Broly's maze of mirrors, while Luffy's battle against Cracker forces him to take on a new Gear 4 form. Unquote. Quote, after a close call, Luffy finally catches up to Sanji, who turns their reunion into a shocking duel. Crunchyroll's official description concludes, quote, elsewhere on the island, Brooke squares up for a nearly impossible battle against Big Mom, and Sanji accidentally uncovers a not-so-sweet secret about pudding. All right, that's kind of the same thing we just read. A little redundant here in the article writing, a little redundancy here. See if anybody's commenting. No new comments. Crunchyroll's final announcement was for the December 26th home release of Eureka 7 High Evolution Movie 3. Retailing for $39.98, Eureka 7 High Evolution Movie 3. Official description reads, quote, a girl who can control scabs appears, and Eureka must protect her from Dewey Novak's crazed mission to destroy the world. The one Eureka threw into turmoil. Now she has a choice to make. Let her sins be erased or fight for what's left to love. Do you plan on adding any of these to your collection? Oh, there we go. So that's all we have in terms of the articles tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed those. Found them informative. So now we're at 46 minutes in here. So I guess it's a good time to start winding things down. So now what we'll do is we'll move on to the wrestling. Now I had been reporting that Jade Cargill. Now there has been no confirmed fact that Jade Cargill is signed with the WWE, but there's been a lot of indication that and JR, good articles. Yep, they're pretty good. They got us through a good chunk of the time here. Anyway, so Jade Cargill is in training, I guess but there's no official saying as to whether or not there's plans on bringing her in. There's still a lot of talk about that. So, and there are some people, and now that the merger has happened, the TKO has taken over, the WWE with the merger of with the Endeavor merger and all of that. There's been a lot of speculation that there's been some speculation out there that Vince McMahon may have orchestrated the merger in order to regain power. After his forced retirement last summer, and then his subsequent return. So there's some talk that he made some change. He was the one who made some of the changes to Raw on Monday night as well. So that's all the WWE news. Now AEW. So tonight's Dynamite. Tonight's Dynamite had 5 matches that we knew of going in. 4 of them were championship matches, as of course it was their Grand Slam event at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Going into the night, of course, in a title versus title match, opening up with a title versus title match, Claudio Castagnoli with Wheeler Yuta in his corner was defending the Ring of Honor World title against Eddie Kingston, who was defending the New Japan Strong Openweight title. The winner of the match, of course, would be getting both titles. In a way, and trying to settle their differences before focusing on capturing the AEW World Tag Team titles. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara are taking each other on in a one-on-one match. Guevara is seeking to finally get Chris Jericho's full respect, to see him as an equal. So that should be promised to be a very, very big match. John Moxley defends the international title against Rey Fenix. We'll have Alex Abrahamtis in his corner. Saraya with Ruby Soho in her corner will be defending the AEW Women's World title against her former Outcast mate, Toni Storm. And MJF defends the AEW World title against Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe. Of course, we'll talk more about the results of what happens last night tomorrow. Also on Friday, Friday's Rampage. They'll also be from Authorized Stadium with more. We'll talk more about that tomorrow as well. So that's all I got for the wrestling wrap up. So now let's really close things out here. Let's see. Today is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. So let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! Okay. So first off, we're going to head back 50 years ago today. As on this date, 50 years ago today, on this date, 50 years ago today, the first issue of Adam 12 from Gold Key Comics went on sale on this date back in 1973. Of course, Gold Key, much like its predecessor, Dell Comics, was basically in the habit of making comic adaptations of already licensed properties. In this case, is the first of I believe a 12-issue run, 10-issue run for Adam 12 from Gold Key. The features included The Wild Wheelers and False Alarm. The book sold for 20 cents and 30 TV. My general take is it probably followed the same format as the TV series. So Adam 12 was a pretty famous cop show in the late 60s, early 70s. I think it ran from 1968 to 75. So during this time, of course, Gold Key would do a comic adaptation of the show. So on this date, 50 years ago today, the first issue of Adam 12 from Gold Key Comics went on sale on this date 50 years ago today, back in 1973. So moving ahead to the next piece in each history. Moving ahead to 1993, which was 30 years ago today. On this date, 30 years ago today, back in 1993, over in Japan, in Nagoya, Japan, Shinya Hashimoto defeated the Great Muta to become the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Also, here in the States, down in Memphis, Jerry Lawler would regain the USWA Unified title from Tatanka. So on this date, back 30 years ago today, 1993, Shinya Hashimoto defeated the Great Muta to become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and Jerry Lawler defeated Tatanka to regain the USWA Unified Heavyweight title. So with that, and the Unified title was basically the AWA, basically the AWA belt and the world class belt, as it were. So, all right. So, or the original AWA belt, rather. So now, getting ready to move ahead again, this time to 2003. On this date in 2003, the Disney animated series Lilo the Stitch the series would premiere on Disney Channel on this date back in so 20 years ago today. Lilo and Stitch the series would premiere on Disney Channel on this date back in 2003. And moving on to the final piece of niche history here. We move ahead to 2018, which was 5 years ago today. On this date, back in 2018, 5 years ago today, Project Number 9's 100 Sleeping Princes and the Kingdom of Dreams would finish its run on Japanese TV on this date 5 years ago today. So 5 years ago today, Project Number 9's 100 Sleeping Princes, and The Kingdom of Dreams would complete its run on Japanese TV. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Let's see now. We'll be back here tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow night we will most likely be, unless otherwise noted, tomorrow night we'll probably be covering the indie comic showcase from Bleeding Fool. Let me just check see if that article's up yet. Oh yeah. Actually, in fact, here's another little tidbit I just saw today. We will be covering Independent Comic Showcase number 240, and among, of course, the selections will be. Looks like it will be Melvin from Tim Olson. Tim Olson's Melvin will be featured on there. So let me just double check here. Yep. Melvin from Tim Olson will be featured in that article, so we will be looking at that tomorrow night. I hope Tim will join us, of course. So, and then on Friday, Metal from Vomitorium will be joining me. We'll be looking at comics from back in, that went on sale in December 1939. This week, we'll be focusing on comics that went on sale from what would eventually become Harvey Comics. We'll be looking at Speed Comics Volume 1, Issue 5, and Champion Comics Volume 1, Issue 4. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow. Bye.